Check this out. This entire YouTube clone is what we're building in this three-part series, and it's going to work flawlessly on desktop, tablet, and mobile. Look at this responsiveness. And here's what's wild. This whole interface is built with just HTML, CSS, and a tiny bit of JavaScript. No Bootstrap, no Tailwind, no nothing. Just pure CSS skills that'll work in any project you ever build. Welcome back to part 2. In part 1, we built the skeleton with CSS Grid. If you missed that, definitely check it out first, links in the description. Today, we're bringing this interface to life with Flexbox, and part 3 is coming next week, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it. Now we're diving deep into the header and sidebar, and this is where Flexbox really shines. By the end of this video, you'll understand how professional websites create those smooth, responsive navigation layouts you see everywhere. If you want to code along, I've got all the source code linked below. Plus, if you stick around to the end, I'm giving you my personal CSS layout cheat sheet that'll save you hours of Googling. Sound good? Let's jump right in.
All right, let's start with YouTube's header. Notice how the header has 3 distinct sections: the menu and logo on the left, the search bar in the center, and the user icons on the right. This is a perfect job for Flexbox. Now, before we write any code, I want you to understand what we're building. The header needs to stay at the top when we scroll, have 3 sections that space out nicely, work on mobile, tablet, and desktop, and look modern with that Glassmorphism effect. Let me show you the HTML structure first. See how we have 3 containers? This makes our CSS much easier. Now let's style it. Let me break this down line by line. 1. Grid area header. Remember our grid layout from part 1? This tells the header to sit in that header area. 2. Background RGBA 15.15.15.9. This is a semi-transparent dark background. The 0.9 means 90% opacity. 3. Backdrop filter blur 10 pixels. This is the magic. It blurs whatever's behind the header, creating that modern glass effect. 4. Display flex. This is where Flexbox begins. We're telling the header to be a flex container. 5. Align items center. This vertically centers everything in the header. 6. Justify content space between. This is crucial. It pushes our 3 sections apart. First section to the left, last section to the right, middle section in the center.
Now let's tackle the left section. This contains the menu button and the YouTube logo. Here's what we're building. I'm using Display Flex again because I have two items, the menu button and logo, that I want to sit next to each other. Align items center keeps them vertically centered, and gap 20 pixels puts 20 pixels of space between them. Gap is newer than using margins, and it's much cleaner. Let's style the menu button. Justify Content Center and Align Item Center perfectly centers the hamburger icon. For the logo, we have both an icon and text. Again, Flexbox. Two items, icon and text, side by side, vertically centered with 8 pixels between them. This pattern is everywhere in modern web design.
Phase 3, the search container, advanced Flexbox. The search section is where things get interesting. We have an input field and a button that need to look like one connected unit. Here's the CSS. Let me explain that flex 680px, because this is important. The first number, 0, means don't grow beyond 680px. The second number, 1, means you can shrink if needed. The third number, 680px, is the ideal width. This means our search bar will be 680px on large screens, but it'll shrink on smaller screens to fit. This is responsive design with Flexbox. Now for the input field.
See that border radius 30px 30px? That's top left, top right, bottom left. We're only rounding the left corners because the button will connect on the right. The search button. Border left, none, removes the border between input and button so they look connected. The border radius only rounds the right corners. Together, they look like one smooth search bar.
Phase 4. Header right section, icon layout. The right section has multiple icons, so once again, Flexbox is perfect. Each icon gets consistent styling. I'm using the same centering technique. Flexbox with align items and justify content set to center. This perfectly centers each icon in its circular container. The hover effect adds some life. That translate y -2 pixels lifts the icon up by 2 pixels on hover. It's subtle, but makes the interface feel responsive. Phase 5. Building the sidebar foundation. Now let's move to the sidebar. The sidebar is more complex because it has multiple sections and needs to work on different screen sizes. First, the basic structure. Let me explain the key parts. Grid area, sidebar, places it in our grid. Overflow Y, auto, adds scrolling if the sidebar gets too long. Position, sticky, with top, var, header height. This is important. It makes the sidebar stick to the top of the viewport, but positioned below the header. Height, calc 1, VH minus var header height. This calculates the perfect height. 100 VH is the full viewport height minus the header height. The calc function lets us do math in CSS. It's incredibly useful for these kinds of layouts.
Phase 6 is the sidebar links, Flexbox in action. Each sidebar link is a Flex container. Here's why. We have an icon and text that need to sit side by side, vertically centered. Without Flexbox, this would be much more complicated. Align Items Center handles the vertical alignment perfectly. For the icons, I use a fixed width system. The fixed width is crucial. Different icons have different natural widths, but by giving them all 24px width, they align perfectly in a column. The margin right creates space between icon and text. Alignment issues like this trip up so many developers. I've included a troubleshooting section in my Grid and Flexbox Mastery Guide that covers the most common alignment mistakes and how to fix them instantly. The active state shows which page we're on. The hover effect provides feedback. These subtle interactions make the interface feel professional and responsive to user actions. Phase 7. Responsive Design, Mobile Sidebar. Here's where things get really interesting. On mobile, we need to hide the sidebar and show it when the user taps the menu button. On tablets 769 to 1200px, we show icons only. We're changing the grid to only give the sidebar 80px width, hiding the text spans and centering the icons with justified content center. The sidebar becomes an icon-only column. Responsive patterns like this are essential for modern development, and I've documented 15+ responsive navigation patterns with live examples in my Grid and Flexbox Mastery Guide for when you need different solutions. On mobile, 768px and below, we completely change the approach. The sidebar becomes position fixed, and Transform Translate X -100% moves it completely off-screen to the left. When the user taps the menu button, JavaScript adds an active class. This slides it back into view. The transform property is perfect for smooth animations.
And there we have it. We've built a complete header and sidebar system using Flexbox. Let me summarize what we learned. 1. Flexbox is perfect for navigation layouts. It handles alignment and spacing beautifully. 2. The justify content space between pattern is everywhere in web design. 3. Using flex properties like Flex 01 680px makes responsive design much easier. 4. Sticky positioning keeps important elements visible while scrolling. 5. Media queries let us completely change layouts for different screen sizes. If you want to master these concepts completely, I've created a comprehensive Grid and Flexbox Mastery Guide with 50+ real-world examples, interactive exercises, and a complete reference section. Check the link in the description. It's helped thousands of developers level up their CSS skills.
And to keep those crucial Grid and Flexbox properties fresh in your mind, grab your free CSS layout cheat sheet. It's the perfect reference to speed up your layout development. Just comment cheat sheet below and I'll send it straight to you.
In part 3, we'll tackle the main content area using CSS Grid for video layouts. That's where we'll see Grid and Flexbox working together in a real project. Don't forget to grab that free CSS cheat sheet from the description. It's got all the Flexbox properties we covered today. And if you're loving this series, the complete Grid and Flexbox Mastery Guide goes way deeper with advanced patterns and real-world projects you won't find anywhere else. If this helped you understand Flexbox better, hit that like button and subscribe for part 3. And remember, the best way to learn is by practicing, so try building your own header and sidebar variations.